Okay. Hello everyone, this is Natalex Milk slash Leche Lay slash Milk as per my close friends, and I don't usually do voiceover videos, though I did want to start because I have a big mouth and I want to talk, but we're gonna be starting off my dreams TM with some controversy TM. So I noticed recently that a big topic in the art community, well, not recently, probably within like the last year or two, there's been like a blow up of videos on it, but the existence of art style theft. Yeah. And I noticed a lot of people tend to be like, just like the way when they explain that it doesn't exist, they just kind of look down on a lot of the people that do believe exist. Like, I literally saw a psychological analysis on why artists get upset when they say that their art style has been stolen, and I just think that's just downright not cool to do that, especially when like people wouldn't normally be able to defend themselves. Anyway, I'm gonna be explaining my point by telling a story from my own personal experience. But to start with, in case you have no idea what art style theft is, or the difference between inspiration and art theft, I will explain that real quick. So, art theft is when you take someone else's art, something that they have made, and you bring it to your chest and you tell the world, I made this. And when done online, it usually is reposting someone's art without crediting, or like just blatantly saying something like, I made this. Or my personal favorite for like the worst thing ever, when you add like a really ambiguous caption to it when you post it, so people can't tell, did they make this and they're commenting about the piece they made, or is this reposted and they're commenting about the piece that was made? My definite favorite. And that's art theft. Art style theft is a lot more gray area, I think. A lot of people say it doesn't exist, and I'll explain why in a second. Art style theft is basically you see somebody else's art style and you take it to use for yourself. And that's just basically the meat and potatoes of it. And the reason why people say that it does not exist is because nothing is quote unquote original. And what are you going to say that Renaissance artists stole from real life? And I'm no, that's ridiculous. And I feel like that there is comparing apples to oranges. There was also the idea that mimicking is an important skill, but it is an important skill in a specific part of the art world. The internet is a different place. It is basically, and I like to call all freelance illustrators posting on our internet, we're basically new age starving artists. We live off of Patreon, we live off of Ko-fi if we're not, working jobs in the real world. And we're basically just new age starving artists. And when you take somebody's hard work and you take it for yourself, that's gonna be in the story, so I'm not gonna get into that here. But you can apply real life concepts, I guess, or the frickin' Renaissance. You can apply that to digital art posting, where your branding and your recognition is all that you have on the internet when you're trying to get your name out there. And moving on to the third definition, inspiration is basically, oh, hey, I like the way they drew their hair, or I like the way they colored eyes. I'm going to try that technique the next time I draw. That's inspiration. And I tried to illustrate these 3 points, or at least 2 of them, in this speed paint, as you'll see, the 3 different drawings of one of my OCs. And yeah. So for story time, in my personal experience with art style theft, I'll be talking about the great kawaii apocalypse of deviant art. So as everyone knows, styles trend, character design types trend, topics trend. Right now, furries and anthros are trending and everybody is drawing those things. But there was a time when I was a little teenager that kawaii art was trending. And kawaii art, basically super cute character designs, pastels, frills, eye patches, pastel goth, all of that was trending. It was super cute. And at that time, there were two catalysts for the kawaii apocalypse. I'm only going to be talking about one of them because her art style was the one that got ripped off the most and branched off into things. But I'm going to be talking about the artist Puni Pan. Now, there's very little known about who Puni Pan is, but I can definitively say that her and two other artists were the start of the kawaii apocalypse because their accounts absolutely blew up. Now, Puni Pan, and it's really ironic that she caused this whole situation considering the origin of her art style, but she was this kawaii artist, I'll provide an example, that made these adorable character portraits using, I guess, an adapted version of KyoAni's K-On! Style. And you can see, and she also got her name from a scene in K-On!, but like, not a lot of you are weebs nowadays, you might not know that. Anyway, she was posting through that art style on this account on DA, and it absolutely blew up because it was during a time when that type of art was trending, and she got thousands of watchers, and she got thousands of favorites, and she got thousands of comments, and she was basically the queen of kawaii, along with the two other artists that won't be talked about in this video. And all was well and good. People were receiving good content. It was simple, it was cute, it was there to do what it was supposed to do. And then one day we just start noticing a lot of similar art styles. And upon doing research on that, you start to notice that like every week there's a couple dozen new kawaii art accounts, and that would be all fine and good if they were all like, oh, kawaii art, I want to draw that too. But it didn't just like stop there. It wasn't like these artists were like, oh, I want to try this and post it on their account. It was like you started seeing accounts like She-Pon and Sheep-Pon and Poppy-Pon and Puni Pony and just all these different takes on Puni Pan. And it wasn't just the name that was being ripped off of. These artists all had virtually identical art styles, or at least attempts at Puni Pan's art style, because as simple as her art style was, she was a very skilled artist. Like, there was theories that she had an actual account somewhere else and she was actually a really, really skilled artist. But that part of it aside, you know, there was these just like cheap ripoffs of Puni Pan style, and they were all, it wasn't even like they all came in with integrity. They were all basically coming in the same exact way. They posted a mascot or something like that. It was super cute, and then in the description you're like, hi guys, I'm so new to DeviantArt. This is my favorite OC / my mascot. Please take care of me here. And then they'd have like 10 pleases and stamps in the description. Now, for those of you who don't know DeviantArt culture, pleases are basically just these reaction image and GIF accounts that you can type into your description so it has those reaction images in there. And I didn't even know how to use pleases until I was on DA for a good month or two. Now, I could be slow, but you know, knowing how to use pleases and stamps in your description and HTML coding it's a little far-fetched for your very first time using DeviantArt. Now, giving some of them the benefit of the doubt that they were fast learners or whatever, even still. And it was like, it was kind of just like pissy to see happening, I guess, because it was obvious why they were doing this. They were doing this to get popularity and attention, and they were doing it to make money because Puni Pan was making a lot of money off of commissions at the time. Lali Hime-sama was making a lot of money off of adopts at the time, and people were like, this is an easy market, this is an easy art style, I'll copy it and get popular off of it. And it was just like all the drama of course, other drama as well, but like that was part of it. A lot of the drama just ended up pushing Puni Pon to deactivate her account. And it's like, art style theft can be harmful in that way, for sure. Like, if it's upsetting the artist and it's taking money and revenue from the artist because you wanted that money and revenue, it's extremely harmful to the artist. Like, their brand went from recognizable to generic just that quickly. It became the style of the kawaii side of DeviantArt, and she was just the queen of kawaii. She wasn't her own thing anymore. And I can say for sure that people thought this way because I was in on it at the time. I was a greedy little gremlin at 14, 15, and I had probably maybe 5 kawaii accounts where I tried ripping off Puni Pon's art style and Lolly Hime-sama's art styles so I could make money and get popularity and all of that. And it's like, where do you go from there? Like, when you get popular off of somebody else's hard work because you just outright stole the style, do you just keep your followers because you decide, all right, I don't want to do this anymore. I've got my thousands of followers. I'm gonna start doing my own thing. Like, was it worth it to push somebody off the internet to upset somebody? Like, I know that artists don't get upset at quote-unquote art style theft, but I feel like it's a different kind of environment now. It's a lot more wholesome. People aren't probably deliberately stealing popular artist styles just so they can become famous and all of that. It's like as simple as, you have a group of friends, like my friends, they can see aspects of their techniques and their art style in my art because I saw it and I was like, oh, I love this and I want to try it without, stealing their entire style. And I can see aspects of my art in their art sometimes. And it's like, when you're around people or you see something that inspires you, sometimes either subconsciously or on purpose, you're like, I want to try this thing. Like, you can do that without just taking the entire art style and trying to claim it as your own, And this isn't even to knock people who don't have art styles, so they can only copy. But it's like, if you're not that skilled to have your own art style and you're copying, you can 100% develop your own style just through that alone. Like, Puni Pon, there's about 5 nameable artists. I say nameable, but I don't remember any of their names. But, like, they also rose to be, like, the kawaii duchesses. But, there's about 5 of them that branched off from Puni Pon's style during the kawaii apocalypse, and they became their own recognizable brand that people started to rip off of because they had original cute art styles that obviously had something to lend to Puni Pon, but you also saw that it was their own thing. It's like, that's why art style theft exists. The simple fact that you can take aspects from somebody's art and add it to yours without your art looking exactly like theirs, that in itself proves the existence of art style theft, because then you're looking at somebody who just basically made a carbon copy and you're like, well, what do you call that? Because if this is inspiration, then what's this actual photograph, And I guess I was just like needlessly passionate about the topic because of my own experience with it, my own experience being a greedy little gremlin. But it's like, I got kind of angry at people being like, it doesn't exist, stop being upset over it, people get inspired. And it's like, you're basically discounting the artist's emotions, like copying art styles for 5 years. And this is talking about me, because I didn't start improving in my art until about 2 or 3 years ago, when I finally was just like, all right, enough is enough. I went a really long time just copying my favorite artists, and because of it, when I was like done with that, I was like, where's my skill? How do I do anatomy? How do I make my own thing without this looking just like theirs? And it's like, it hinders you a lot just copying people's art styles. My skill didn't improve for a long time because I just spent my days just like looking at how so-and-so shaded it and copying it instead of taking a page out of their book. I just took the whole book. and you can't really make your own book when you have a whole book already. And so I guess it was like, you know, discounting artists' feelings got to me, because I think if somebody straight up took my art style, not that anybody would, it's shit, but if somebody did that to me after all the emotional struggle and attachment I went through for it, after all the work and studies I went through to put in for it, after becoming recognizable, like my friends can go, oh, this is Milk's art, you know, after doing all that just for somebody else to be like, oh, I want to draw exactly like this, and drawing just like that, you know, I think I kind of have a right to be upset. And to all the artists who aren't insulted by art style theft, that's cool. You're a cool person. And right on. But I don't think that automatically discounts everybody else who does get upset by it. And that was basically my piece on this whole situation. What a mess. I'm gonna have to do another take, aren't I? Anyway, thank you for watching this just complete impulse video. I literally woke up from a nap yesterday and was like, I want to make this video. And please hit subscribe. I'm lonely. My subscribers are lonely. And feel free to leave or like or comment. And have a beautiful day.